All right, everyone, welcome back. We're back on this Galaxian here. Last video, we had everything up and running. Graphics look good, game plays well. We just had a sound issue. So, I came down to work on it here today, finish this up. And unfortunately, I think I fixed it inadvertently. I came down. This 161 here looked like it was up. It was not seated correctly. Put some pressure on it. It snapped back into the socket. That is part of our sounds for the game. I have a feeling that was what our issue was. Maybe when I was moving the board around working on it earlier, I knocked it loose, but it did snap in tight. The board definitely had some work done here when I was looking at it. Every one of the LS 161s has been socketed. 4 down here, 4 up here for our sync circuit and timing, and the 2 for the sound. Not sure if they just had a mass failure 161s or someone just hates them and put new ones in. So at this point, I think our sound's going to work. If you remember from the last video, we did have our explosion sound, we had our fire sound, and we had the rack movement of the aliens moving left and right across the screen. What we did not have was our coin up and our start jingles. Those are generated, comes through the data bus into the chip here at 9J. Then it is sent out to these 2 counters here, then through the rest of the circuit down to our amp. So, as I said, I think that was our problem. What we're going to do is put the game into test mode, just test the sounds. I'll show you how to test the rack sounds and the fire and explosion sounds as well. Those cannot be tested in the test menu. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to get the game into test mode. Let me hook a jumper up here. Ground out our test pin. And now there we go, we're in test mode. Now, unfortunately, the only way to get out of these tests for the sound is to disconnect out of test mode, but that's not bad. What we're going to do here is we're going to let the sounds kind of add on top of each other instead of resetting it all the time. As I said, the rack movement itself, the aliens moving, is generated by these 555 timers and then fed down through. So if we put 5 volts, which is a logic high, to pin 4, we should have sound 1. You can hear it in the background. Let me just disconnect, get rid of that sound. Back into test, we could test number 2. There's the second sound. Now I'm just going to put the third one on top of it. It will not reset, but I'm going to just add it. You can hear that third sound. All right, so we get out of that. Back into test mode. Now, the sounds we were missing, the main game sounds, I'm going to say, as I said, come through here, through 9J. We're going to jump that out, test the explosion yet, and our fire sound. So pin 7 of 9L is our explosion. You can hear that going off. And pin 10, let me reset this so you can hear it. Get it back into test. Pin 10 here on the same IC is our fire sound. Let's see if I can see in here enough to get to it without shorting anything. And there's our fire sound. So that works. Again, they are the only tests that cannot be done through the control buttons. So let me get the joystick up here and we'll test our other sounds just to make sure. And there's fire. Look, I didn't think fire could have been done that way. I don't remember that one working. I thought that had to be, I thought fire had to be tested through the chip and not the board. Huh. Well, let's get it out of test here. And coin up and actually play a game. I'll add a few credits here. And it's going to be a little hard to play sideways. Galaxian was a pretty hard game to play to begin with. It looks similar a little bit to Galaga, but it is a lot harder. Yeah, right into them. I'm going to remount the monitor here on a swivel so I can turn it. That'll make it a lot easier to play these games and test them after I'm done. So as you can tell, though, our sounds are back. Unfortunately, there wasn't much to show troubleshooting on that. As I said, it just came down, pushed on it. And, I mean, luckily it fixed it, but as I said, I'm a little confused on why every 161 here is socketed. I wouldn't put sockets on those. I don't know why they did, but I'm not gonna bother taking them out. We're gonna leave these. We're gonna leave all the sockets in it. I'm just gonna let the game burn in now. Excuse me. I'll come down, play a few games here and there with it. Give it a good 8-hour burn in on it, and just to see how it's doing. Other than that, this one's a wrap. Thanks for watching.